Cerise Cole, along with Jared Lansford, Senior Chief Meteorologist Rusty Lord. I know everybody wants to know the latest on the snow. As promised, it is falling. Rusty, you have delivered in that forecast, and it'll continue to fall for hours still to come.
Yeah, I got a lot left into the mid-afternoon the way things look. So let's dive right into it here. We're looking at First Alert 6 weather day. Everything's right on track. We're about 1.5 inches, 2 inches right now. Latest reports that have come in may have some that are a little bit higher, but 3 to 6 inches of dry, powdery snow out there for the metro total. Right now, the way things are going, I'm saying we're going to lean towards the higher end of that. Some 4.5 to 5s looking more and more likely. Higher amounts south of I-80. It'll be slow to accumulate, and I think that may be the best news about this. That should allow the plow crews and the private contractors who will be in the neighborhoods today to keep up with this. So travel impacts through the afternoon pretty easily, then cold air will pour in after that. Here's what we have going on right now with more snow back here. Extends all the way back towards Goodland, Kansas. We got a lot of this yet to roll through, but the heaviest intensity continues to be in our southeastern counties and faster snow rates. That's why we're going to add it up a little more down there. But you'll notice light to moderate snow across the metro. We got a pretty good surge overnight that got us up to that 1.5 to 2 inch range by about 6 o'clock, and now it's just kind of been slowly trickling through. And again, like I said, that's probably the best news with this. That'll keep it from adding up too quickly and road crews from having to really play catch up here due to the fast falling snow. It'll be a slow falling one. Biggest impacts, pink shaded area, winter storm warning. A little less of an impact as the snow amounts will be lighter to the north there in the winter weather advisory. So as we look out across the area, honestly, there at 144th and Dodge, it doesn't look all too bad. You got lighter traffic today with obviously nearly every school district home for the day, either off or doing remote learning, but it's 5 right now. And anything that's out there snow-wise is going to stick. As you drive over it, it packs down. Brine doesn't work very well at temperatures like this. We're in the single digits. Wind chills are below 0. It's not a lot of fun stepping outside to clean this off, but you can see here at 7 o'clock, 1.5 to 2 inches on the board. By 9 o'clock, we're going to have some 2s and some 3s around the metro. And then the 3 hours from 9 to noon gets us up 3 to maybe 3.5. So you can see the slow progression here. Into the afternoon, we can kind of tack on a little bit here and there. I ran it through about 5. Most of the snow should be done accumulating a little bit before that, but this model suggests 4 to 5 inches. Again, that would put a good chunk of the area on the higher side of that 3 to 6 inch range before it's all said and done. Lighter totals to the northwest. So that's kind of how it slowly adds up. By 7 o'clock, we're looking at, in this 7 o'clock hour, widespread snow. Notice how it's a little bit lighter up here. That's why the totals are going to be a little bit less there. Heavier snow rates down to the southeast, but that's a lot of blue on the map all the way through the morning. Starting to lessen up into the afternoon. By 4 o'clock, you can see not too much left accumulating on the Nebraska side. Still could have a couple more hours on the Iowa side. We get to about 10 for the high, and that's it. It's going to be cold all the way around, and cold's the name of the game tonight, folks. Look at what happens once we clear these clouds out. The temperature with the fresh snowpack, that is a wonderful recipe to just see the temperatures bottom out. And we have 10 below for the low tonight, heading into Thursday morning. Cold weather advisory because of that, where wind chills could be as cold as 25 below to start off tomorrow morning as we're still cleaning up some of the snow and kids heading back to school with temperatures like that. There's your wind chill forecast. On average, about 10 to 20 below, but again, they could spike occasionally or dip as low as 25 below. There's your forecast for tomorrow. Air temperatures below 0 for a good chunk of the morning. How about 17 to First Alert E2 on Thursday? Hey, but the sun will be shining. We got that going for us. Then Friday, we actually rebound. South wind, we go to 32 for the high. So that'll get a little bit better.
Thank goodness. Start
a little melting anyway heading into Friday.
I was going to say, is there any path forward to melting? Because really over the next several days, we'll be seeing the temperatures really staying low.
That's the thing. Aside from Friday, what's out there is going to stay pretty frozen. Temperatures are going to dip quite a bit. Look at the low temperatures over the next several days. You got that 10 below for Thursday morning, and there you go. Sunday morning and Monday morning get cold again. And honestly, we didn't have a lot of time to look at the forecast beyond Saturday morning. Given how busy today was, it's possible we may need to shave a few more degrees off of these numbers behind this cold push coming in. This little batch of snow that could roll through Friday night into Saturday morning. Again, it doesn't look all that ominous for us as far as snow totals, but you can see the down arrow there. That's temperatures falling on Saturday from a morning in the 20s. And then there's a lot of morning lows below zero. Whew. So you get the snow on the ground, you get these cold air masses, and then it's a thing where it doesn't warm until the snow goes away. Well, it can't warm. The snow won't go away until it warms.
That's right. We're in a catch-22 here.
We're in this loop where it just doesn't warm for a while.
I gotta say, it hurt my soul a little bit marking every one of those minus signs for the lows as I'm making the forecast.
It hurts us too. Well, whenever there's snow, accidents are sure to follow, and that's already happening this morning.
Yeah, I think 4 is where we're at right now with the number of crashes. That includes some on the JFK. You've got Highway 370, so a number of our big roads where we're seeing impacts. So let's take a look at where we're seeing some of those and walk you through what to expect. Of course, patchy to complete coverage of snow on many of those roads is a lot of the reason, and there you can see what it's resulting in. There's Highway 75 JFK as you're heading southbound just past I-80. Left shoulder blocked as a result of that one. That's one of 2 crashes on the JFK. So you can see the delays that are in place as you head through this area. Any of our interchanges are going to be slow. This is what always happens when we have snow falling out there. I-80 and 480 interchange, the I-80, 680, any of those ramps, you need to slow down, use extra caution. We've also got a new crash that came in. This is 114th and Highway 370. You can see some of the delays that are in place around there. No word on what direction that crash is in, so I'll update you as I get more information on that. Again, that just came in. JFK, there's our other one, southbound, as you're heading between Cornhusker and 370. Now, what actually happened is the vehicle spun and is facing northbound in the center median, so you got to watch for that in that area. And then our other one that we did have in place, we have cleared. This was on 680. This is actually the first one that came in northbound just past Dodge. Thankfully, we've got everything cleared with that one. But when we zoom things out, look at all the yellows, the oranges that are showing up on the map. That's all the people trying to kind of manage their drive while they're dealing with the patchy to complete coverage of snow on the roadways. You've got plow drivers that are out there trying to clear things off as the snow continues to fall. Give them plenty of room to work as you're heading out and about. Keep in mind that's kind of packing down on the roads as people drive on it as well. So it's going to be a slow go of it. Use extra caution. Take plenty of time for that drive no matter where you're going. It is showing up pretty slow. And keep in mind, you know how the winter has been going. We haven't been driving on snow a whole lot.
We have not.
So it's going to be kind of a reacquainting with how that process works. So be patient, give some grace to your fellow drivers, and use a little extra caution. It's the key.
All right, Jared, thanks. Well, we're tracking, of course, as Jared just said, what could be a very tough commute on this first alert weather day. Our
Maria Kate has been out on the road since about 4:30 this morning. She joins us now again. Maria, tell us where you are now and what it's looking like for you.
Hey guys, how are you doing this morning? We are here on 72nd, just past 72nd and Military. The morning commute is starting up. We see a lot more cars out here on the roads, but the conditions of the roads really have not changed too much, even in those main intersections. Still pretty covered. This snow, as Rusty and Jared have been saying, has been coming down pretty consistently throughout the morning, and crews are working to clear the roads, but for the most part, especially those side roads as you're heading out of your neighborhood this morning, those are pretty covered. So you do want to make sure that you take it slow this morning. Make sure that you have a lot of caution when you're driving too. Of course, as always, we have a lot of construction throughout the metro, and when there's all this snow on the roads, that can cause some issues on the road. So you want to make sure that you take it slow, give yourself enough extra room between cars, just in case there needs to be any quick breaks or anything. As we have been driving throughout the morning and we're heading into red lights or stop signs, the car has been skidding just a little bit and sliding just because of that snow. As more and more cars drive over it, it is packing down into the ground. So as the crews work to clear those, again, just want to be cautious throughout the morning. But for now, we'll send it back to you.
Maria, thanks so much. As you just saw on the storm tracker, the snow is still coming down.
Yeah, it is. And officials with the city say they are prepared. The assistant director of transportation says the main and secondary roads are treated already with brine. He adds, if you do see snow, you will likely also see plows in the area. The plan was if it's 2 inches or more, the side streets are supposed to get plowed.
Try to get everything wrapped up before the temperatures really fall out on Wednesday nights. You know, we'll have some limited use of salt at that point in time. We're looking at sand as an abrasive to get traction in those hours as well, just to make sure that we keep people moving and have good roadways for people to drive on.
Here's the thing, though. He adds the biggest challenge will be the cold temperatures that we're experiencing. The cold could actually limit the effectiveness of the salts.
Well, Council Bluffs has issued a parking ban. It runs until 11 p.m. That means you can't park on streets with signs posted as emergency snow routes. City of Blair is also in a snow emergency. That goes until 6 p.m.
And we do have the latest closings and delays on our ticker. They're running at the bottom of your screen. Omaha, Millard, and Council Bluffs schools are doing remote learning today. Elkhorn, Bellevue, Papillion, Ralston, Westside schools, and more are canceled for today. UNO will have a remote learning day. All MCC campuses and locations, as well as Creighton University, are closed.
Now the K-Tropic and the latest updates on the forecast, as well as new closings as they still come in. Make sure to head over to our website, firstalert6.com. You can also download the First Alert 6 news and the weather apps on the App Store and Google Play. First Alert 6 streaming is going to be back.
All right, welcome back, everybody. The snow started falling last night. It's still going. Any word on how much we've received so far?
Still, again, reports are thin. Not a lot of people in 5-degree weather wants to come out, go measure, but an inch and a half to 2 still seems to be common here as we approach the 7 or get into the early part of the 7 o'clock hour. So at a pretty good pace. Still got a lot of snow left to go. 3 to 6 inches looks to be the forecast. Again, 3 would be the low side. I think most of us are going to be on the higher end of this 3 to 6 inch range in the metro. The lighter totals will be up here. The heavier totals down to the southeast. Everything working well out there. You saw some of the fine powder that may be falling out there. Part of the reason why I was reluctant to get too over the top with some of our forecasts, but I think most of us can get at least 3 inches out of this, and we just see how far the totals will go. You get under one of these bands, and that's where it's really adding up. Had one of those during the overnight hours, and that's why we got our quick 1.5 inches to 2 across the metro, and now there's more trying to fill in from time to time, and you can see how it does thicken up a little bit over the last couple of frames there, and we just continue to watch this be the case. It's now all the way through 4 o'clock or so this afternoon. Actually, the winter storm warnings, winter weather advisories do go through about 6, but that's as everything marches off towards the east from the west. So you can see the snow falling, not dropping visibility because it's kind of a fine powder out there. We're at 5 with a feels like number of 11 below. So it is cold. Roads snow packed in quite a few spots, especially the residential areas. We have single digits on the map right now, whether you're in the metro or outside of the metro, pretty much the same story. Lower single digits to the northwest, trying to hang on your 10 to the southeast. Feels like numbers 5 to 15 below. I know this all sounds fantastic, doesn't it? It makes you really want to go out there and clean the driveway off. But by 9 a.m., you're looking at 2 to 3 inches of accumulation. If you don't drive over it, you may be able to hit it with the leaf blower and get a lot of it off. If you drive over it and compact it, that's going to really press it down into the concrete. And we march through this here by noon. You'll have some 3s and 4s across the area. And into the afternoon, there's where your bigger totals are going to be to the southeast. I think a lot of 4s and 5s in the metro. And we just kind of march through this. What you see is what you get through 9, through noon, through 3, through 4. You can kind of see the story today. And it's late afternoon with the last of the snow moving out. And then it clears out tonight and temperatures drop off and do so in a big way There's the cold alerts to talk about. Could get as cold as 25 below by tomorrow morning. So we'll keep that first alert likely going through tomorrow morning because those wind chills will be so nasty as the kids head back to school tomorrow morning and we clean up some of the snow. On average, 10 to 20 below with our wind chills all the way through 10 o'clock in the morning tomorrow. And hopefully we can get those back above zero into the afternoon. So again, there we are, below zero to start. On your Thursday, first alert to only 17 with sunshine. The winds won't be all that bad. You can see near 20 miles per hour today, actually back off a little bit tonight. Part of the reason why the temperatures fall so far. We'll dip down to 10 below by Thursday morning, and then you can see a little surge of some warmth there Friday up into the 30s. Got a little more snow into early Saturday morning with the temperatures falling, and then back to the cold stuff there. 2 below for the low on Sunday morning. It's going to be a cold stretch here in February, the way it looks.
So is today really it for our snow chances, or is there anything in the 10 days saying to us that we might have more?
Well, it got a little bit here Saturday morning. We'll watch that. It doesn't look like there's too much to deal with right now as far as Saturday morning goes. But then there's another one here for President's Day into early on Tuesday that kind of reinforces the cold air too. So we'll watch that early next week. Highs in the teens, lows in the single digits below zero. That's not a fun looking 10-day forecast there, but so a couple chances to watch here. We're trying to make up our snowfall deficit. We've got about 2 inches, I'd say, in the area right now, and we'll just keep slowly adding to it as the rest of the day goes along.
Well, so far we doubled what we had, right?
That's a good point.
Now we have 2.
We go up from here.
Oh, unfortunately, the crashes are coming.
Yeah, people dealing with the rough road conditions means people are crashing out there. So let's first start with where the road conditions sit. And you can see that we do have patchy to complete coverage on many of our roads at this point. Blue is the partial coverage. Pink is the complete coverage. As a reminder, we haven't shown this graphic a ton this winter with the lack of snow, but we definitely have it on the roads as we're starting things off. Main roads and the side streets are going to be impacted as you're heading out this morning. We zoomed things out. You can see most of the area in general is in the same boat as well. You'll also notice this one area right here. It's just into western Cass County, western Odo, and eastern Lancaster, where you have some purple showing up. That's travel not advised showing up for that area. So that's a spot where you don't want to be traveling. If you're elsewhere, make sure you have the emergency kit in your vehicle and have any of those supplies as you're heading the roads. There you can see where things stand at this point. We did manage to clear away the crash on 680 as well as the one on the JFK that was just south of I-80. So some progress there, but still going to be looking at the slick conditions. You can see some of that snow coverage that remains in place. Watch those interchanges as you contend with that this morning. It's going to be something you have to deal with, not just in the morning commute, but most of the day. You'll still have that as a hazard for you.
All right, Jared, thank you so much. Well, with the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau now in limbo, First Alert 6 reached out to the Better Business Bureau to see what's next.
That's right. Earlier this week, the Trump administration ordered the agency to pause work. Now, officials with the BBB tell us that if the agency shutdown does become permanent, it could leave consumers in the dark when it comes to avoiding scams and identity theft.
We would need to create some new workflows, but the work would continue, the mission would continue. Maybe the volume of reporting would increase. I think state and local agencies will likely need to fill the gaps created by the closure of the CFPB. There's going to be some responsibilities that might shift more toward the state attorneys general, consumer protection agencies.
Officials with the BBB say the agency shutdown is not a sure thing. Well, the biggest dog in the world, but we're not talking about Clifford.
And you won't believe how much he eats. We're going to tell you anyway when we come back. You're watching First Alert 6 streaming. Welcome back, everybody. At nearly 200 pounds, look at that big dog. Ramses may be the tallest dog in the world. His owner recently had the Great Dane measured to submit his height to the Guinness Book of World Records.
That's a horse. Well, he's a gentle giant, by the way, who is anything but gentle on his food. He eats 4 pounds of food every single day. And you know what goes in must come out. So I am dying to know how big the poops are.
That's
huge.
That's a yard that's probably got, a bit of a mess.
I mean, anytime I see a Great Dane out in public, I'm always so amazed at how large they are. So imagine that's the biggest one by a lot.
We have an English bulldog, and he's 85 pounds.
Wow. That's a hefty boy.
So yeah, people
more
are like,
than twice.
Yeah. That is a big boy.
Yeah, my wife wants a Great Dane, and I have.
Do you?
No. Taller than our couch. For
Your
crying
daughter
out loud.
could ride him.
There
you got one, right?
There you go. Good point. Dogs are fun.
They are. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We're going to get ready for our update in the Today Show. You can watch it here on streaming, or you can watch it over the air.
Have a great start to your Wednesday.
Good Wednesday morning, everybody. It is 7:26. I'm Cerise Cole.
And I'm Erin Hartley. A lot to get to on this first floor weather day. We'll get to check in first on the roads with Jared.
It's the first time we've had snowy travel in quite some time, and we've already seen that impacting travel with a few crashes and slow go of it all around the metro. You could see that we are looking at patchy to complete coverage showing up, whether you're 144th and West Dodge or closer to I-80 and the JFK. Here's a couple of crashes we do have. JFK southbound between Cornhusker and Highway 370, that vehicle in the median. You've also got 114th and Highway 370. You can see slow travel in that area. And on many of our roads, as people try to contend with those slow conditions, make sure you're taking it slow, using extra caution if you do have to head out the door. Let's get a check in on the timeline of the snow with Rusty.
Yeah, as things are playing out right now, had a pretty heavy batch roll through overnight that bumped up some of our totals in that 1.5 to 2 inch range, and you can see a good swath going through our area as of right now. There's plenty more back to the southwest to view a little closer, and you can see that pretty heavy snow rates down Nebraska City, Shenandoah. Some of that actually lifting north up through the system as everything moves from west to east. So we're in it right now. 3 to 6 inches of total accumulation through the afternoon. I think we're going to be waiting until closer to 4 o'clock for any the meaningful accumulation to wrap up, but it's going to be a slow process here, likely putting us on the higher end of that 3 to 6 inch range. That's why we have the First Alert 6 weather day, to keep you posted through the day. And the totals of this dry, powdery snow. Sorry, not a good snowball snow, kids. You're home. You're not going to make snowmen out of this one. Slowly accumulating through the day, only a high of 10. Let's send it out to Maria, who's been driving around seeing how the roads are.
Hey, thanks, Rusty. We're out here on Dodge right now, and we do want to show you these conditions just one more time before we wrap up here for the morning. Roads are still pretty covered, and as we are looking down the street, there are crews who are working to get this all cleared up for all of us right now. But as we continue throughout our commute on the morning, just make sure you take it slow. It is going to be a pretty keep coming down. So you just want to make sure that you take it slow and keep your caution. We'll be back here at 7:55.